Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're live already, welcome. The stream will start in about 5 minutes. This is for you guys who are watching the stream back. So I have listened to all your demos that you submitted on SoundCloud. I spend a lot of time listening to your demos. I listen to them from start to finish. So I would really appreciate it if you could go through all my socials below and add, follow, subscribe, whatever you have to do for that social. That would be really, really awesome. We're going to start in about 5 minutes time. Here we go. Hello. Guys, we are back for another week of demo reviews. Welcome. Here we go. Thanks for all your submissions this week, guys. If you are just tuning in, hey, I'm Steve Marks. What I do every Monday and Friday is I review the demos that you send me to my SoundCloud account, Steve Marks. We've had a whole bunch of submissions, guys, over the past few weeks. I just want to say really good job. We've had several records signed by labels who have submitted to the stream. Really awesome work. Let me know where you're tuned in from. I'm gonna dive straight into these demos. So we have a few, and I think it starts here with Ridges. So we are going to start with Ridges Frozen. Let's check out this one. Good intro. So far, pretty good production. Good use of panning as well, left and right. Hearing a lot in the right. A lot of your samples in your high end. Not too much in the left side. There's a lot of your low ends in the left. And I feel like with your first section as well, and your second section here, I feel like there should be a kick drum introduced under a sort of high pass filter. Slowly filter it back down and introduce the lower frequencies again. It will give more impact on your drop. I do like the percussive elements you've added throughout. The hi-hats are good. It gives the drop a lot of movement. One thing that you could do to improve your drop, so you have this build-up where it has no sort of low frequencies in it. You have one sort of droning synth that you hear sort of throughout. You could have some bass risers in there that slowly build the tension up throughout this whole section, because this whole section is, in my opinion, like a little bit flat, and it just sort of stays the same until the last sample that you add in with the kick drum sort of getting released out of a filter. I feel like you could possibly have an auto filter on this whole section from this section here, probably the next 4 bars. From this point onwards, you could have a snare that slowly builds, and you could have your whole, like, so on your master track you could add a filter that, like a high pass filter, that slowly sweeps up into the high frequencies, and then just before the drop, so where you sort of integrate the sample of the kick drum, I would release that filter, so pull it up and then release it all back down, so that when the drop hits it's a lot bigger. Yeah, because what you've got a pretty good like the lead is catchy, the melody is catchy, it stays in your head, but it's sort of, it's kind of lost in your mix, in that you have, so your bass line is sort of constant throughout, sort of like a lingering sort of, so I would maybe chop that up and give some more space to your lead. Make that the star of this track. Yeah, pretty good start. Yeah, I mean, you've got the grasps of automation and things like that. I would try and create more tension before your build up. So really, like, bring the sound up into the high frequencies and then release it all back down. Then the drop hits. How do you send music, Callum Ranson? Just send it to my SoundCloud, my friend. So just search Steve Marks, and you'll find this ugly looking head. You can send it there, or you can type straight into browser soundcloud.com/Steve Marks Music, and that'll send you directly to my account. Just send me a DM, my friend. Ridges, pretty good start, mate. I've given you an ad. You're currently on 8 followers, so guys, let's try and get him to double figures on this stream. I think you're the second dude from Finland to submit to this stream, so thank you very much, sir. Yeah, really good start. I can't fault that too much. It's a nice sounding pop track. Yeah, the only thing that that you could develop on for that track is creating more tension for that build up. You want to make that drop your sort of the star of the track. Yeah, but really nice work, my friend. Thank you very much for submitting. Let's move on, shall we? We are on to Mr. Architect. I think, yeah, let's check this out. I did not review this one yet. Architect, my man, he submits pretty much every stream, so I commend you on your regular music production, so really well done. Let's check out Earthquake. Nice and bass heavy so far. Good variation on the percussion. So this track is a perfect example of what I was trying to explain to our last submission from Bridges. Was sort of just before the drop, filter all the low end out, so it kind of pinches it up in the high end like this, getting swept up. And then the drop hits you, boom. And what I like about this Mr. Architect is the second half of your drop. The sort of percussion hits are mixed a little lower, which is good because whatever you've got going on in the first half of the drop, it sounds like a tom drum. It's very sort of dominant in the mix, like it could almost be pulled down a tiny bit in volume. But as the drop progresses, it does disappear a bit lower in the mix. So nicely done there. An email address. If it's just an MP3, my friend, can you can literally just drop it into SoundCloud. If you don't have a SoundCloud account, I highly recommend just starting one up. It's free, it takes no time, and basically all the industry uses SoundCloud as most of their sort of demo drop submissions as well. If you have trouble, let me know, and I'll give you an email address later, but I don't really want to give out my email. I'm happy with just SoundCloud for now. It gets too messy otherwise. Really nice work here with the percussion, really nice. You've got a sub bass in there as well, like I'm hearing your kick perfectly. The sub bass is, it's really hammering home in the headphones, which is, I mean, it's a good thing if that's what you're intending, but if you were playing this track in a club, it would really like boom the room and people would sort of be like a bit overwhelmed by that. Much better now. The sub bass is gone and you've got like a bass line that's sort of playing and it's up an octave, so it's not as crushing on the ears. Gonna filter it up again. Yeah, there's something I can't put my finger on in this drop. I think you have some sort of like, I don't know if they're sub bass sort of like stabs or like tiny little samples, but it really, I only hear them once every 2 bars or so, but it really sort of blows out the low end and the kick doesn't push through as well when that sort of those sub bass stabs hit. Oh, nice little outro. Yeah, pretty good track overall. If so, I just read in the comments that you mixed it with headphones. That's fine, my friend. Um, if you are, so let's say you're producing in FL Studio or Ableton or whatever, just drag an EQ onto especially your bass tracks, and you want to cut out all the low frequencies, everything below like 100 hertz, except for like a sub bass. You want to sort of push it up a little bit around the 100 hertz. That way you'll get rid of all that sort of muddiness that I mentioned. It sounded like those stabs, which you're saying are pitch bends. Yeah, then you can eradicate that out of the mix. So the sounds, you still hear them in the track, but it sits a little higher in the frequency spectrum. It's not sort of all down the low end, being all cloudy and muffled and clashing with your kick. So yeah, really good track. Keep up the good work. All right, let's push on to Low Freak. So, Mr. Low Freak, Andromeda original. Hey guys, if you're tuning in, welcome. For you guys on YouTube, just hit subscribe. Just hit it. It's just one button. Just click. Mr. Low Freak, I'm going to give you a follow. Let's check out this one. It's like an old 8-bit game. Nice automation there with the panning. Really nice track so far. The only you've got a really good spread across the frequency spectrum. You've got a really nice sub bass that's not clashing at all with your kick, and the sort of lead, the glitchy lead you have, it sort of sounds like it's in the high frequencies, but it's filling more the mid frequencies and just into the highs when you add that second octave. To make this track even better, I would add like a layer of what's called air. So that's like a pad or like a synth that's like really high octave, and just, you know, one or two notes each bar, that just gives it some sort of ambience, some sort of like, not white noise to an extent, but just something that's really light and airy and sits like above everything else. Cool. Good integration of like a new instrument. I just read your little description here of the track. I was just about to say how like playful the track is. Inspired by my unborn baby who turned out to be a boy, but this was the feeling. Yeah, really cool. Okay, the ambience that I was talking about, it's sort of there in this drop. You've added a new layer. The sound. Oh. That's really nice. So that sort of sits above your lead and just creates another aura and another dimension to the track. So really well done. Like pure coincidence that I said that you've actually integrated into the second drop. So nice work. Yeah, nice track. Yeah, I can't fault this too much really. Like I mentioned the sort of air in the first rotation of the drop, but you integrated it in the second half of the track, so it gave it a new dimension to the listener. The integration of the sort of the strings here in the middle. Where was it? This section here was good. It was a good variation, because if you hadn't integrated that, it would have been more of the same throughout and it would get like boring. So you did really well with integrating that new sound, gave a new dimension to the track. Although the melody stayed the same throughout the whole track, it was still interesting. You had enough sort of stop starts to make it interesting, and I could hear you adding in those little baby samples here and there. That was really cool after reading the description of the track. So awesome track, my friend, Mr. Low Freak. Really nice work. Thank you, Callum. I saw that you sent it in. If there's any troubles, I will search your track on YouTube and I will get onto it. So thank you, Mr. Low Freak. Alright, we have Mr. J. Sudaran. No, Sudarsan with Retake, the Equinox remix. So let's check this out. I hope these chords open up in automation to something bigger. Something sounded a little out of key there. Am I hearing this wrong? That's better. It sounds like the third note of each bar, your bass line, sounds out of key to the your top melody, in my opinion. I'm not sure. I don't know the original. Okay, a few things. Nice remix. I actually don't know the original, so really cool. From a sound design perspective, you've got really good like synths and leads and stuff like that. What I could recommend in the drop, so you've used a really like long kick, so it has like a long tail, and what that does is when the kick hits, it sort of drones along for a bit longer. With a kick, you want it like short and sharp and straight through the mix. Because if you have a tail, it sort of hits like this. It sort of hits and sprays, and what that does is it interacts with the bass line. So I can hear you've got a bass line in there because I'm wearing very bass heavy headphones. But I think if you were to play this track on a smartphone, I don't think you would hear your bass line too well, because I think what you're missing is a mid bass. So that's basically duplicating your sub bass into a new track. And then either bringing that bass up an octave or selecting a different bass that's sort of in the mid frequencies rather than the low frequencies, because they are the type of bass lines that you hear through a smartphone. You don't hear the sub bass or like 808 kicks through a smartphone. So by adding that sort of mid bass, it will really thicken your sound, your bass sound. Because I hear you've got a bass line in there going dun 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 dun, but every time the bass, the kick drum hits, it sort of it destroys the bass line because it's clashing in frequencies. So what you want to do is find the frequency of your kick, where your kick is, put an EQ on it and just boost it a little bit, and then go into your sub bass layer and put an EQ on again. You can even copy that EQ over from your kick, except you do the opposite. So you, on your bass line, you reduce the EQ a bit where that kick is, and that way it gives the two sounds a bit of space, and then it comes through a lot clearer in your mix. I hope that makes sense to you. It looks like you've been producing for quite a long time, so hopefully like you understand what I mean. But yeah, really nice. And I'm not sure if the original is like that, but in my opinion, there were sections here where it sounded out of key. Yeah, I'm not sure, my friend. But anyway, thank you for submitting. Yeah, I hope that helped with the sort of mixing ideas. And just remember, guys, if you're tuned in, welcome. If you want to send me your demo to review, just send it to my SoundCloud, Steve Marks Music. Yeah, if you're tuned in on YouTube, hello, hit subscribe. Don't ask why, just do it. Welcome to everyone on Twitch as well. I'm trying this out on Twitch. I haven't streamed much on Twitch, so just trying it out. And you guys on Facebook that are tuned in, welcome as well. Yeah, so SoundCloud, search for this head and send me a DM with your track. Cool? Awesome. All right, we are going to push on. Retake that is done. So we have 2 from Scribbles. What I'm going to do is going to open both of them, but I'm only going to play one for now, and I'll review your second one a little bit later on in the stream. So if you're tuned in, gonna make you wait. If you're watching this back, make sure you stick around for your second track, for your second review. But anyway, let's check this out. So Scribbles with Sinner. Where's Aberdeen? Aberdeen, UK. that kick is big. Good automation, filtering out some things. Good introduction with the off hats as well, nice. Good variation, keeps the track interesting. Feel like we're going to hear the same thing again. Variation on the vocal. Good, good. All right, Mr. Scribbles, I'm not sure how long you've been producing, my friend. Looks like you may be new to it, I'm not sure. One thing I can recommend is your bass line is very constant throughout, and it's constant throughout. It's also like hitting at the same time as your kick drum. So I would recommend adding a bit of sidechain to your bass line. If you don't know what sidechaining is, it's pretty simple. Just look it up on YouTube. But basically what it does, every time, if your bass line is like this in volume, and every time your bass hits like this, what it does is it slowly ducks the volume. It slightly ducks the volume in your bass line so that the kick pushes through a bit stronger. And talking about your kick at the start is very, very like loud in the mix. So I would recommend either bringing that down a little bit in volume, or like what you did near the end of this section here, is I would add some automation on your kick. So I would start with having it in a tiny bit of like a high pass filter. So remove some of the low frequencies so that it's sort of like a clicky kick, and then slowly release that filter so that you get more of the sort of lower end bass kick in there, because this is very boom, boom, boom. Nice pitch bend. You got automation down packed nicely. All right, Mr. Scribbles, some feedback for this track. It's good. It's a good house track. It just needs a little bit more mixing. And what I would do is your bass line, like in music production terms, is very like basic. Like, and I don't mean the notes that it plays. I mean its sound. It sounds like it's just a sine bass that you've picked and you've sort of just gone with it because your ears have become used to that. What I would do, I would get your bass line, I would copy your bass line 10 times, okay? And then I would add a different bass to every single channel so that you have 10 different bass lines. And then I would play them all one by one with your track. Because you may find that a more sort of raw bass might work a bit better, because it sounds like you're using like a sine wave for your bass. It sounds like very sort of basic, and it becomes a little bit much after a house track, especially 6 minutes long. So yeah, my advice to you to make this track even better, play around with some different bassline sounds. So go through your plugins, tweak a few parameters, and see what you like. But overall, thank you for submitting. Yeah, cool track. Keep working on that one. That's something that I would play like in bars and clubs for like a warm-up. No dramas at all. Look at you. What are you doing? Lieber. Oh, must be from Germany. Guten Tag. Vielen Dank für die Musik. Thank you for the music. All right, I will be reviewing your other track a little later. So let's get into Lost Paper. Billie Eilish, Open Eyes, the Lost Paper Re-Lost. Let's check it out. Also, guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the stream. I'm Steve Marks. If you want to submit your demos, just send them to my SoundCloud. So just search Steve Marks. My head looks like this. Or you can just type straight into the search bar, soundcloud.com/Steve Marks Music, and it'll pop up straight on my profile. Just send me a DM. If you're tuning in on Twitch, welcome. I don't know how Twitch works. I don't know if you like, subscribe, or whatever. Facebook, hello. There's a few guys in on Facebook. And those on YouTube, hello, welcome. Hit subscribe. Don't ask questions, just do it. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers this week. I know it sounds stupid, but whatever. I'm on 190, I think. So if you have a YouTube and you're listening to this, just go hit subscribe. Who cares? You'll see me pop up in your news feed every now and then. It doesn't matter. Just do it. All right, let's check this out. Thank you, Kaio Sounds. Good build up. And I've heard the lead for a few more bars, so it sounds familiar now that it's being introduced. Nice, really good drop. Awesome drop, my friend. The reason why this sounds so good, in my opinion, is because of the lack of sort of bass frequencies. in the lead up, so there's no real bass in the lead up to the drop. So when the drop hits, it's such like a strong hitting sound. It's very well mixed and it sounds professionally mastered. So if you did the mixing and EQing and mastering, well done, my friend. Another awesome bit of feedback for all you guys tuned in is what's done really, really well on this remix is when the drop hits, the drop melody sounds familiar before you hear it, and that's because it is integrated from about this point on, but under a heavy filter. From here. Dun, 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 dun. So you can already hear the lead, but it's under heavy filter. It's like a low pass filter, slowly getting released up now, as well with some tension rises. And now it's really getting released up. And then when the drop hits, bang. And another hot tip, if you if you consider yourself an expert at remixes, it's always really, really good. This is a perfect example by Lost Paper. So when you have engineered your drop, it's really important, if you want to make like an uplifting remix, always have your bass line go up. So in this remix, the bass goes dun, dun, dun. It could easily go like bum, bum, bum. It could easily do that, but it keeps going up, and it's sort of, I don't know, like when you hear it, you raise up with the bass line. I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but that is like proven in lots of remixes. I feel like it's the sort of same build up. The lead again under heavy filter. I wonder if the second drop is different. Always good to have your second drop different. Tension riser from Kashmir. Really, really nice remix. Yeah, can't fault too much on this because the drop is so strong. It's so well mixed. There's all the frequency spectrums covered. It's a really, really good, really, really good remix. Yeah, if you want to take this to the next level, to sort of like the holy grail that everyone tries to achieve, you know, your spinning records and your hexagon records, is in your drop, you've got some good stop starts, some hold drops and things like that. I'd play around with that a bit more. And when you have silence, I'd add like a really weird, wacky sample, you know, like there's all this crazy crap going on at the moment of, you know, like a door slamming or keys jingling in those bits of silence. It just makes it a little bit random and a little bit fun. And you can sort of pan those samples to the left and right. But yeah, really, really solid remix from Lost Paper there. Awesome. Thank you so much for submitting, my friend, and feel free to send through a few more a few more demos. That would be awesome. All right, Mr. Meteor, Dark Sky. Let's check this one out. Okay, something sounds a little off there. I think it's your samples. Yeah, something's landing a little out of time there. It did come through, my friend. Okay, Mr. Meteor. So, what's really cool to learn with like electronic dance music production is like never forget the basic elements of a song. So you've got every basic element in the song perfect, except you've taken some out when they needed to stay. So for example, here you've got your bass line, your kick drum, and some nice sort of pianos and things like that going on. But when you get to your sort of big moment, what disappears is your sort of chords and your piano, and this is called like the body of the track. So when we get to this section here, we have your kick drum and your lead, which is doing all that crazy stuff up there, but what you're missing is your bass line and your body. So if you were to sort of revisit this track, what I would do is I would keep your bass line and also the body of your track, so those chords that were happening throughout, and then your sort of drop, in my opinion, sounds a little bit empty. I don't know if that's the sound you were going for. Maybe it was, maybe it's not. Remember, this is all just my opinion, so you might be killing it on dance floors or something like that, I'm not sure, but in my opinion, the drop sounds a little empty for my ears. Some bass notes under that would be good. See, there's your bass line again. So your bass line comes in, but just at the wrong time, in my opinion. So I would integrate your bass line a little bit sooner as well, because your bass line is what sort of makes people dance. When you've just got a kick drum and sort of keys, that's sort of the moment in the club where everyone's sort of like, oh, okay, like cool, like we got music going. But when the bass line hits, that's when everyone's like, oh yeah, like the bass. Yeah, my friend, it's the same on that second drop there. So you've stripped it back to the sort of bare elements of just your kick and a really strong lead with some sort of, it sounds like you've got some overdrive effects or something going on there to make it a bit more like aggressive, which is cool. But yeah, as I said before, just add the body and the bass back into it, and you'll have like a really strong idea to keep working on. So boom. Yeah, I mean, just keep working. That's all I can recommend. So thank you for submitting. Let's push on for another one, Mr. Ted-Eye. Let's check out Magic Journey from Ted-Eye. Lithuania, never been there, really want to go. Also, guys, feel free to write what you like in the comments as well. So, welcome if you're just tuning in. If you want to submit a demo, guys, just send it to my SoundCloud profile. So, go find Steve Marks Music. That's me there. Just type in soundcloud.com/Steve Marks Music, and you'll land right on my page. Right now, we're listening to Ted-Eye, Magic Journey. It sounds very magical, and it sounds like a journey so far. I like how this bass sounds. It's good. Be interesting to see where this goes from here. Big brass stabs in the background. Come on, Ted-Eye. Nice. I almost feel like that drop was really, really nice. That first moment was really, really good. And the first few bars I feel like could have used without the you've got like a percussion in there. It sounds like a tapping, something sort of tapping. You could have almost removed that entirely and then introduced it a little later on in your drop, maybe after 4 bars or 8 bars or something like that. Just adds a new layer on top. I'm starting to hear new layers coming in, but maybe you put in too much on that first drop, because now it's sliding back into a bit of another like tech house beat. Okay, these are just very minor criticisms. Like, it's a good house track so far. A few of your samples are out of key, so especially like what I'm hearing, your open hi-hat is like a little too high in terms of like octave. And also that sort of mystical sound that goes bop 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 bop, that sounds a little off key to your bass line and your main sort of melody. Pretty nice chilly track. What I really like I like what you've done with the sort of brass stabs. They're sort of always like hanging at the back of the mix. Every once in a while I'd maybe push it to the front just to give a bit of variety to the track. I feel like whatever instrument you have there, hang on, something was constant there which could have changed. So the synth that's doing that, wow, I feel like could shift down with your chords that you have going as well. Because to my ears it sounds like it goes a little out of key. Not too badly, but just minor criticisms. Woo. Club goes dark, strobe lights start happening. It's good. It really is taking you on a journey, really. Good variation on the lead as well, keeps it interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. So the new lead that you've integrated here sounds like it just sounds a little off key to the rest of the track. It just doesn't sound to be the right notes for the sort of base of your track that you've created. Downshifters, nice. Okay, you've got some real aggressive sound coming here. It's like a real sore lead there. Pretty aggressive for like the end of the track. And if you're listening on a smartphone, you probably won't be hearing the vocal panning that's going on here. It's actually really cool. Really solid idea, Mr. Ted Eye. Magic Journey, it definitely does take you on a journey, that track. Really cool stuff. Yeah, thank you for submitting. Hey guys, if you've just tuned in, hey, I'm Steve Marks Music. If you want me to review your demos, just send them to me, Steve Marks. Search me on SoundCloud, so soundcloud.com/Steve Marks Music. Nice and easy. Alright guys, we have a special treat. We are going to hear from our artist of the week. So our artist of the week this week is Mr. Dominic Dale.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm so grateful to be selected as your artist of the week. This is my new song with Netta called About You, and I really hope you enjoy it.
So Dominic Dale is a really old friend of mine from Australia. Really nice guy. I was in the same DJ agency as him many years ago in Sydney, so let's check out his track. It is called About You.
about you.
Boom. So that was our artist of the week, Mr. Dominic Dale. Awesome track, guys. Thinking about you. Yeah, go check him out on Instagram, also Spotify. Stream his tracks. Add him to your playlist as well. Really great guy, and he's released some awesome music in the past. So definitely go check out Mr. Dominic Dale. Yes, so I'm still accepting your demos for review, guys. So soundcloud.com/Steve Marks Music. Search for my ugly looking head here. And I'll get to your tracks today to listen to them. Alright, let's continue, shall we? Boom. So we just did Ted-Eye, Manifestor. Alright, Shady Pandas. We've got a new one from them called The Nasty. Let's check this out. So it's cool how you've got some bass variation already in the track. I feel like the sort of sine bass that you used in the first half of the sort of drop section, you could have had like longer notes or played around with the timing of them, because they were all very safe, like bum, 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 like vary it up a bit, and now you've got this sort of coarse saw bass coming in. It's really cool. Good variation. You've got like the Mr. Shady Pandas. You've got the like the fundamentals of making a track and loops. You're building on your loops and stuff. I would integrate some automation, so some filters, filter some things in and out. Because at the moment, like you have very clear segments in your song, and everything sort of happens like blocks, which is perfectly fine. But if you want to sort of take your production skills to the next level, I'd add some automations which slowly integrate your new sounds that you're about to introduce, so that when they happen, it's not so like abrupt for the listener. These are just really little things I'm picking at, because it's actually like a very nice track. I feel like in this last section, the every third like bass drum kick sounds a little out of time. I'm not sure if it's just my ears, but yeah, nice track. I'd play around a little bit more. So you've got some cool like arpeggiators and stuff that happen throughout the track. I'd play with them a bit more. So like they're good where you introduce them. I'd add another sort of dimension to the track. So at the moment everything's very safe and sort of fitting in your nice little track, your nice little box. I'd start to play around in that box. So play around with like vocal panning. So if you have, let's say, your arpeggiator, maybe just pan it little to the left, little to the right, little to the left, little to the right. And what you can do is you can also filter some frequencies out. So what that does is it creates a sort of dance in your ears from left to right. And as you sort of add a high pass filter, it sort of brings the music up like into the higher parts of your body. And then when you release the filter again, it drops it all back down. You could create some really good light and shade by doing those few little techniques, and it'll take your music production to that next level. So really cool stuff. Thanks for submitting, guys. You seem to have a pretty decent following of 700 and where are we? 798. So let's see if we can get them to 800 followers, guys. Shady Pandas from Miami, Florida. Now, what I will say to you guys, so what I do is I collect, so I basically keep track of all the songs that I've played on my stream, and what I do is I tag all you guys in an Instagram post. So if you want to contact each other or share ideas, you can do so. I'm a little bit behind on that because sadly I've been blocked from Instagram for a couple more days due to a hack on my account, so I can't bloody do anything, which is very frustrating. But thanks for submitting, guys. Awesome work, guys. If you just tuned in, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you have to do on whatever social media. Hello to all you guys on Twitch. Twitch is growing quite nicely there. I can see the numbers. Cool. Well, it looks like we're back online, but yeah, the chat is still struggling. So I know we are back online, so what I'm going to do is start reviewing, and I'll wait for the chat later. So Schlumberai, tell your mother nothing. Let's check it out. Ads. If you want to get rid of ads, just hit refresh and they piss off. Nice. Really solid track already. The only thing I could recommend to sort of take it to that next level is add some variation to your bass line. So all your bass notes are most of them are like the same length, so I'd shorten some, cut some up and give it a bit more dance. Like, you've got some good swing in the drop already, but that would take it to that next level. Okay, I'm not hearing too much wrong with this. I think your the percussion you use, I'm not sure if it's a shaker or it might be a hi-hat that you've sort of filtered a little bit. It's slightly off key and it's annoying me a tiny bit. But. Nice. I like it. Yeah, if you want to take this to the next level, I've said this a few times already on this stream, is play around with panning. So you've got really nice chopped vocals in there, really, really cool. I would, you've already played with the pitch, so there's some like regular pitch, you've pitched some up, pitched some down. I'd play around with their panning, so send some to the left, some to the right, some through the middle, and the vocal chops will just sort of dance around your track. Yeah, pretty hard to come up with some sort of negatives. I like how you've also got the sort of, you've got your regular bass line going on, and then you've got your sort of raw bass that comes through. Gives it a bit more like dynamic in the low end. But yeah, really nice track, my friend. Really well done. Thank you for submitting. All right, let's get in. Kind of comes. Yep. Okay, no problem. All right, here's another one. Boom. Let's check this one out. Ground and Pound by Compliment.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
If anyone has the Cashmere sample pack.
Let's go, 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 3, 2, 1, let's go. Rock your fist in this shit.
Huge compression on the bass. So what I'm hearing at the moment, I'm not sure if it's coming through to you guys, but it sounds like the bass line sounds a bit too loud for the mix, because it sounds like there's been a limiter put on it. So a limiter pushes everything up to its sort of maximum. You set where its maximum peak is, and then in the mix, everything else added on top of that is sort of crushing that down. It sounds like a cool effect though. I'm liking it.
Let's go, 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 let's go.
Okay, solid track. It's very, as you said, very bass heavy. You've got good variation on your percussion. So you've got your sort of, your faster, 140 BPM segments, and then you've got your trap beats. So that's good variation in your percussion section. It'd be awesome if you added some variation in like your bass line, for example, because it's all just hitting on one note. Boom, 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 boom. Play around with that note. Boom, 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 boom. Give it some variation there. And also the sort of the laser sound. It's cool on the breakdown, this bit. But having it at that same note, it's the same as the bass, like it's always the same. Bow, 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 bow. Play around with the pitch and the notes and stuff like that. Maybe you can come up with some sick melody to sort of take this track to the next level. But wow, guys, if you're listening in headphones, that was loud. That was super loud. Guys, all right, we're going to go into a little section I call Sit and Listen. Okay, today I'm going to talk about like how to maximize your exposure on SoundCloud. Okay, so I've been doing this for many years to build my following, and what I do is like a few techniques. So I learned out the hard way the sort of limitations of SoundCloud. Okay, guys, so the maximum number of people you can follow per day is 100. Okay, you get a warning at number 99. And then where you follow the 100th person, you get nothing. Then when you follow number 101, you get a sort of temporary ban. So your first ban might be for 1 day. But if you do several sort of 1 day bans, if you sort of repeat the same like wrongdoing of overfollowing, you'll get banned for 3-4 days or a week. So always remember that your maximum you can follow per day is 100 people. So the people that you follow is also important. So for example, if we go back through my tracks, and this stands especially for if you focus on like making remixes. For example, I did a Camila Cabello remix, which in my opinion sounds terrible these days, but it was awesome at the time. What I did was I went to her profile. Right, this is when my track was fresh, and I would click on her followers, right, and I would follow the top 20 because they were the most recent followers that joined her channel. So the chances are they're either still on SoundCloud when you add, and they'll be like, oh, someone added me, and they'll be like, who added? And then they'll be like, oh, okay, someone added, and they'll click on your profile and they will see that you did a remix of Camila Cabello, and then they will be like, oh cool, and they'll listen to it, and what they'll do is they'll either like it or they'll either hate it. So you will gain a follower from that. You might also gain a like from that on your track, or a repost or something like that. And it's really important that you sort of capitalize on that remix with that artist whilst it is sort of fresh. So when I was promoting my latest sort of remix of Letters for the Spinnin' Records contest, for Lucas and Steve, what I did was I went on to Lucas and Steve, and what I did was I opened up the first 20 followers. So to do that, what I did was I held down Command, and then I clicked on the name, and see how it opens them in a new tab. So then I could hold down Command and go open, 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 open. And what that does is that opens up all their recent follower profiles. Okay, and it's pretty easy to tell which ones are real and which ones are fake. The fake ones will have 0 followers and 0 following, and you could pick out the real ones. So for example, this guy only has 2 followers. So let's say he liked and shared my track. He would like it and share it to 2 people. So I thought that's not worth my time, because remember, you only have 100 followers that you can follow in a day. So I would close him. This guy has 17 followers, so I would follow him in the hope that he would check out my remix. And you can sort of prioritize who you follow or not, because you want to make sure that you maximize your 100 followers. Okay, so yeah, in saying that, you also, so you have a limit on how many you can follow per day. You also have a limit on how many messages you can send per day. So for example, this remix I did was for a contest. So what I did was I searched Letters by Lucas and Steve remix, and then what I did was I found a few other remixes, like for example this one. I opened it up and I saw that there was 15 comments on it. So what I did was I then would go and open up every single profile that commented, and I would write them in a DM, and I would just say, hey, I saw that you commented on Gemini's remix of Lucas and Steve. I also did a remix, and I think you should go check it out because it's a similar, sound or something like that. And then you actually get a lot of streams, a lot of likes, and a lot of followers by doing that. So you really need to target your audience for who you want to get your tracks promoted through. Yeah, I also did like a remix of Britney Spears about a year ago. So I went on her profile, I followed the most recent 20, and then if I felt like it, I'd have the time, I would write to each one in a DM, just say, hey, you follow Britney Spears, I did a remix, go check it out. And you can basically copy and paste that message to about 20 people before you get a sort of warning on your profile. So I hope that's taught you guys a little bit on how to sort of grow yourself on SoundCloud. Let's get back into your demos. Awesome. All right. It's KO. Now, mate, I know you've been waiting. I know you're in the chat. So thanks for sticking around. Guys, welcome. I'm seeing a lot of chat asking where you submit your demo. So guys, head to SoundCloud, send me a DM. My name is Steve Marks on SoundCloud. So I look like this. Just go search Steve Marks Music in SoundCloud and search for that ugly head and just send me a DM with your track, my friends. I will review it. I've got about an hour left, so I've got plenty of time to review your tracks. Let's get into this Without Me remix from KO. So, man, I saw you were commenting earlier. I hope you're still around for your demo review. Let's check it out. Okay, instantly, I will tell you that it's important to understand the tuning of your instruments. So instantly, I hear your chords and I hear your kick drum, and I can tell that the kick drum is in the wrong key to the track. Intro track, yeah, so far so good, my friend. Okay, what I'm just doing is pausing the track. So KO, if you listen to this back on YouTube, this review, what's going to happen is YouTube will sort of copyright strike me, and what will happen is this track will be muted. So I'm going to try and hold all my comments for the end, because chances are if I'm giving feedback throughout the track, it'll basically mute all my feedback. So what I'm going to do is, thank you for sending your demo, Mr. I can't even pronounce that. I will smash, maybe. Yeah, I'll try and hold all my feedback for the end, so that like copyright will basically mute this, but I'll listen to it and I'll give you feedback at the end. Here we go.
And then I got you off your knees, put you right back on your feet, just so you can take advantage of me. Tell me how's it feel, sitting over there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there. Name in the sky, does it ever get lonely? Thinking you could live without me, thinking you could live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there, so know why.
It's a really good deep house remix, really. Cool. Really nice remix overall. Okay, so I don't want to skip through the track and give you feedback because it'll really affect the sort of re-upload to YouTube with all the copyright and stuff. So what I've basically done is written some notes throughout. So the keyboard that you have selected, the piano, it's really nice, but where you sort of strip it out, where there's just the vocal and the keys, there's a lot of sort of low end frequencies, which is fine, but when you start to introduce the percussion, it starts to clash a little bit. So I could hear you tried to boost the percussion and the kick drum a bit to sort of combat that. Also, when your chorus is about to happen, this section here, I play around with some automation and like I've said in many of the tracks in this review, is try and filter out your low ends a bit. So like add a high pass filter, which sort of passes the sound through the high frequencies. And what that will do is create a bit more of a build up and a bit more tension before the drop, and then it will release into your sort of nice housey vibe of a chorus. I feel that would take this track sort of like to the next level. Also, so during your chorus, you've got your cool little house beat going, and it's a really good beat, like really perfect, like nothing crazy, nothing basic. It's sitting perfectly safe, okay? Safe's good, but if you want to take it to the next level, I would add a few like sort of holds in there. So like on the first, you've got sort of 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars. So you've got 4 bars and 4 bars. Then for the first beat of the third bar, I'd sort of have a hold. So I'd remove your kick drum, everything, and just have the vocal. So then on the second beat, it sort of smashes together. So it goes, thinking you could live without me, something like that. That would sort of add another dimension to your drop and make it a little more interesting and not as safe as just like a house beat, if that makes sense. So my note for that was try some holds in the chorus. So like hold off and then release. And also you introduce a really nice bass line. This bass line here is really cool. Really sort of backroom sort of 2 a.m. vibe. Really, really cool. And you have a really, really nice moment. I think it's here. Yeah, that bit where you just have the keys and the vocal. That's really, really nice bit. That's like a nice relax to the track. And it's sort of like, if this was like at a festival, it'd be like a pretty cool sort of hands up moment, chill out. And yeah, another, a big thing. I said add more variation to your clap. So your clap is sort of the same all the way through. Cool. Like it's a clap, no worries. But you can do cool stuff with a clap. So what I would do is get your clap and put it in a new track. Just one of them. So just get one of your clap samples, put it in a new track. I would then reverse it so that it's like a reverse clap. And what I would do is add a heap of reverb to that before you reverse it. And what you can do then is render that clap with a tail, so your reverb tail. You can render that out to a new track. So you can basically make an audio clip of what you've just created. So you've got your clap, add heaps of reverb to it, then you record that into a new channel, and then that creates like an audio clip. You then take that clip, reverse it, and you put it in front of a clap. So it's like you've got maybe every third clap would be cool to have that, or maybe every fourth clap. So you kind of go boom, snap, boom, snap, boom, snap, boom, snap. Like it sort of like leads into that fourth clap, and it just gives your percussion a new dimension. So I hope that makes sense. So more variation on the clap, and also your panning. So play around with panning. So maybe it would be cool if where you have just the piano, like a lead up clap, correct, like a reverse clap. I'll try and find you an example of what I'm talking about. See right there. So basically in this track, this is a remix I'm doing. The clap is all the same, but on every fourth clap I've got like a reverb reverse. Do you hear that? I think you can hear it. But it's just a little addition to your percussion that just takes it to that next level. I hope that makes sense, and that's all the notes I've got for you, sir. Yeah, good deep house remix. That was my final note, so really well done. Cool track, cool remix, keep it up, and just add a few little things here and there, and it'll really take it sort of to that next level. So I hope that helped you, my friend. Thanks for submitting your track. And let's push on. So, did I? Yes, I did. So thank you, Mr. Kyle. All right, we're getting into Auric. and Miss You Again. Let's check this out. Another deep house track. Oh yeah. You've got a really nice, I love your sort of bass there that you've got, but instead of having it as like a huge sharp stab this second time around, you've reintroduced it sort of under a slight filter, so that's good. It's not like a really abrupt sort of really good to hear a track this week where everything is in key. All of your samples are in key, even when you pitch bend. Even when you pitch bend here, the sort of percussion, the percussion element that you have here, you've pitch bend it. I think it's either 1 or 2 octaves. It's hard to tell here, but you've perfectly pitch bend it from 1 octave to the other. A lot of people pitch bend from like the octave to just sort of like plus or minus 10. It's really important to get it up to that plus or minus 12 range so it pitch bends from 1 octave to the other. And you've absolutely nailed it, my friend. Really, really well done. Like a lot of pitch bending, it'll pitch bend up and sound out of key, but this is done like really, really well done. So and I also like you've done like really subtle things with the vocal as well. I can hear it. You've got a really tiny reverb on the left channel and a slightly longer reverb and delay on the right. So really, really nice work. Good to add those subtle details that like a lot of people wouldn't even hear. So awesome, my friend. Thanks so much for submitting. That's really strong track. Well done, my friend. All right, Flero, let's check out your track, sir. It is a work in progress. It is a super work in progress, or whip super whip. Flero and Fever.
Close to the outbreak, your city or entire region may be endangered by a lethal agent. If conditions at your location make this a possibility, you need to consider staying in place until the threat has subsided or blown over. Again, remain calm. Remain calm.
Nice. We seem to have hit a new level in the stream. Really nice. Really nice track. Everything is so well mixed, and there's so many subtle things to pick up on. I'm hearing that little womp womp, left right. It's good. It keeps the drive of the track going.
Remain calm. Remain calm.
Yeah, I mean, really solid track. Like, I can't really fault anything. The only thing that threw me a tiny bit was this section here, the lead into the drop. And it sounds like, I think you're in the chat as well, Flero, so let me know. These notes here leading into the drop, did you pitch bend it down and up again, or was that a note? Bum, bum, bum.
Calm.
Okay, yeah, D to D sharp. Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I wasn't sure if that was a pitch bend gone wrong, or if you intentionally sort of shifted the note slightly. So, man, I'm going to listen to it again. Come on.
Close to the outbreak, your city or entire region may be endangered by a lethal agent. If conditions at your location make this a possibility, you need to consider staying in place until the threat has subsided or blown over. Again, remain calm. Remain calm.
Yeah, nice. Do you know what's so funny? In the build-up, you can sense what's gonna come. You can sense that whatever's gonna come is gonna be dirty and it's gonna be good. Like, it's just a really well constructed track so far. Really well done, man. Thank you for submitting, guys. Eventually, what I will be doing is I will be sort of awarding a sort of track of the week each stream, I guess. So a track of the stream. I stream Mondays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Berlin time, guys. So make sure you tune in each week. We've got better numbers on Twitch this week. I only started Twitch like last week, so I still don't know how Twitch works really. So I don't know if you like or subscribe or follow, or I don't know what goes on, but whatever you have to do on Twitch, do it. Same with Facebook. So with Facebook and YouTube, it always gets taken down immediately due to copyright, because of when you guys send in remixes, it flags the sort of copyright issues. But don't stress, I always re-upload to YouTube, and then I sort of wean out all the copyright strikes and things like that, so that If you miss the stream or you want to watch it back or you want to share it or show it to your friends or whatever, it will always be online for you guys. It's a lot of extra work for me, but whatever, I do it. So if you do want to watch this back, it'll be on YouTube. If you do go watch it back on YouTube, just hit subscribe, guys. It's just a button, like just press it. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers, which sounds super lame, but whatever. I'm on like 190 something at the moment, so I want to try and get it to 200 this week if possible. Man, thank you for submitting. Awesome work. And yeah, keep sending me demos, my friend. Really well done. You've got a decent following already, so whoop, that wasn't what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Cool. Yeah, nice work, my friend. Thank you for submitting. All right, Little Lou. I'm a Vibe Out. Let's check it out. Thanks.
Here we go. We're out here on good morning. It's actually the afternoon, July 2020. Beautiful day. Monday. Nice. Looking out the tree zone. And the time zone. Being zoned in, you can slow down. This is where the nature occurs. Nature outside. Yep. You're looking narrow. You're looking small. You're looking limited. You're not taking anymore.
I'm assuming some like glitch hop or something's gonna happen.
They'll tell you one thing right, they'll tell you one thing wrong, they won't tell you this. They're up or down, fight. We might think we got our own boys. They want to disobey their own rules.
Wow, this has so much potential. You could go both ways with this already. You could make a super dirty, like, trap beat to this, or you could totally go the opposite way and make like a super chill, like, lo-fi beat to this. Something might happen here, maybe. I'm sort of waiting for something to happen, but nothing. There it is.
Oh, this guy's pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah, so you were exploring the sort of trap option. Nice. That's cool. It's got potential. You could make that super dirty and super sort of like deep clubby, or you could go the total opposite and make a sick lo-fi beat. We had some awesome lo-fi beats submitted on Friday's stream, and it was crazy because we went from this hectic dirty dubstep into this sick like chill lo-fi. It was such a good contrast in the stream. So Little Lou, thanks for the submission, my friend. That's really cool. I'm a Vibe Out. Yes, thank you, sir. Really cool. All right. Did I miss some? Summertime Simp. Let's check this out. Alright, Summertime Simp.
That bitch nice lips with a fat ass. Shorty really throw it back and I like that. Front seat and the couch where we smash out. Need a hair, nails done, send the cash out. Yeah, and she like how I stunt. Rapping and singing, I do it for fun. I wanna be with you under the sun. Girl, you're all that I want. 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 Girl, you're all that I want. Oh, you like me, girl, I like you too. I like what you say and the things that you do. She like the way that my car going from. I wanna take you to the stars on the moon. Tell me, girl, where would you be if you wasn't fucking with me? Girl, Fuck your old nigga, that nigga ain't shit. Girl, have a good time with it, bitch. Baby, I've been on the go. I ain't got time for no hoes. You're beautiful just like a rose. You already know. I wanna make you mine. Damn, girl, you look so fine. Baby, make me this one promise. Don't waste my time. That bitch, nice lips with a fat ass. Shorty really throw it back, and I like that. Yeah. Front seat and the couch where we smash at. Need a hair, nails done, send the cash out. Yeah, and she like how I stunt. Rapping and singing, I do it for fun. I wanna be with you under the sun. Girl, you're all that I want. You're all that I want. You're all that I want. Yeah, you're all that I want. All that I want. All that I want.
Yeah, nice. I can tell you like a beat maker or something similar because yeah, it's a totally different like style of music. So it's cool. I like you've got like a good flow in how you deliver your vocal, and I like how you always have this sort of like the call and response in the vocal, like smash that sort of stuff. You've got your call and response is in the same key as your main vocal. So what I would do if you want to sort of play around with it, drop it down an octave or up an octave, and give it some variation throughout the track. So you could start with it, you know, as a sort of same call and response from the start in the same key and everything, just with a delay and reverb like you have. And then maybe as you progress through the track, try doing a few that are a bit lower in pitch, and a few higher in pitch. And it'll just give it a bit more dynamic, because this is my personal opinion when I'm listening to tracks from beat makers, and this is just because of my current sort of music preference is like I listen to a lot of like EDM, like club tracks, so that's always like high energy and then like rise and fall. Beat makers are always sort of constant, and they rely a lot on the story that they tell in their vocal. So yeah, add some variation in your vocal sort of call and responses, and I think you could add like another sort of dimension to your music production skills. Or what you could do is with your sort of response, so your where you have the delay and reverb on a second vocal channel, pan it a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, and vary that throughout the song. So you hear the vocal coming through the middle, and then you hear your call and response like off to the sides, something like that. It just gives your vocal another dimension, because currently all your vocals are sitting safely in the middle, which is fine. But if you want to create a bit more excitement and energy around your vocal, you can have your main vocal and then your call and response happens around the sides of your main vocal. Sort of gives your track a bit more three-dimensionality. Yeah, but nicely done, my friend, overall. Thanks for the submission. Let's check what else we have in the inbox. Did I listen to that already? Yes, I did. So let's just do a quick refresh. I think we're good. This dude doesn't have Instagram. Done. Miss You Again. I'm pretty sure I listened to this. Miss You Again. Yeah, I did. Flero, I listened to. Psy, I listened to. Little Lou, I listened to as well. Cool. Okay, guys, if there is no more submissions, what I'm going to do is show you guys these guys. This is a little treat for you guys. So I think for about one more week or so, the Pure Music Factory are offering like free like music video clips. Basically you can send them your track and they'll send you back a film clip. And I tried this out with one of my demos and I had a response within about maybe 12 hours. Super quick response time. So John is the dude that runs Pure Music Factory. I think, yeah, as I said earlier, so for one more week you can get like a free video, but after that you have to pay for it, and it's about 40 or 50 pounds for a film clip to be produced for your track. So basically, if you're watching this stream back and you miss the sort of free period, when you're submitting your order in the notes section, just say Steve Marks 20 and you'll get 20% off your bill as well. So thanks to the team there at Pure Music Factory. Yeah, cool little place. If you want to sort of take your music to the next level, send your track there and they can hook you up with a film clip. It's free for the next week. Get on it. Awesome, guys. So we don't seem to have any more demos, so I really just want to thank you for your time today. We did have one stream interruption, just my crappy internet, so I am moving flats in a little under 2 weeks, so hopefully when I move flats the internet reception will be a little bit better. So thanks for all your submissions. Yeah, as always, I've run out of beer, so I am out of here. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Walking down the shore, falling asleep to endless evening talks. Young and wild and reckless, we were trying to change the world, but the memories that die. The memories that die. I hope you let us to remember the summer days, no nights, the time I used to call you mine. Now every cold December, I think about the way you dressed. I wish I took a photograph, but I know these memories never die. And I don't know memories never die. But I know these memories never die. Listen to the radio, listening to our favorite songs, singing along all the lyrics to our summer long. No responsibilities, just running wild on empty streets. If you ask me, that shakes the best it ever was. But the memories that die, the memories that die. I hope you let us to remember the summer days, no lonely nights, the time I used to call you mine. Now every cold December, I think about the way you dressed. I wish I took a photograph, but I know these memories never die. And I know these memories
Oi, if you're still tuned in, love your work. This is my Letters remix for Spinning House. So this was a Spinning Records competition. Love this track, love the remix. Thanks for tuning in. This should be re-uploaded tonight on YouTube, so sit tight for a couple of hours. I'll make sure I get that happening. And yeah, thanks a lot for your support. Hope to see you next stream, which will be Friday, 7 PM Berlin time.
the summer days, no lonely nights, the time I used to call you mine. Now every cold December, I think about the way you dressed. I wish I took a photograph, but I know these memories never die. Yeah, now I know our memories never die.
So $10, that's an entry.